Now then, welcome back to another episode of the Hypermine Infinity Evolved server. Hello, good day, and welcome. I've been playing around on here for a little while today, just getting things sorted out, just getting things built. I was building a lot yesterday and the day before, just building more levels on. It takes quite a while to build a level on, quite a while indeed. But I've kind of decided that I'm going to limit the amount of levels I'm going to use to the amount of point-to-point tunnels that I can make. I was originally going all the way up there, but I don't think I'm going to anymore. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 floors at the minute, and I think a 6th floor might be as high as I go on the structure. Unless I do something else for reasons I don't yet know. I don't really need more than 6 high, because 6 high gives me 6 rooms per column, as it were. So that's 12, 24 different rooms for auto-crafting, and that's all I'm using it for, so auto-crafting is good. I do have a present to go and pick up. Soap realises that I'm running out of marble. I was running quarries all over the place to get the marble. I ran right down on marble while I was building it. I was using it all up again and nearly run out completely. So Soap has left me a little gift to collect. And here we go, look. I heard you needed marble from Soap. Thank you very much, Soap. It's a deep storage unit with 274,000 blocks of marble in it. Very nice. Now I think we have to pick these things up just like so. There we go. And then I can take that away with me. Pretty awesome. Thank you, Soap. Thank you very much. I was actually down on my number of marble right now. So marble... Yeah, I'm down to 9,000 marble. And I used a fair bit just making the last little section, because it all needs chiseling. Take the marble, chisel it in a dozen different ways, and then start building stuff all over the place. Yeah, that's right. But there is something else that I want to sort out while you're back, and I was just picking that up, really. In the IC2 Auto Crafting Advanced area, we did have a charging station just here, and I've decided to take it off this section because, well, it just doesn't seem right to be sitting there. So I'm thinking of putting it in the wall instead here. So, which is that's that way round, and that's that way round. There we go. So these can get some power, and so I can come along and charge up my IC2 armor and stuff through the wall, as it were. I don't think I need an output as such, but if I leave an output facing this way, then I'll be able to put a machine against it if I need an emergency machine or something. It's just going to kind of sit there like that. But I don't quite have the connectivity back here either. There we go. That should charge that up nicely. Charge it up. Yeah, there we go. There is another way of charging things, though. I've messed around with this a little while ago. This is a bat box with an LV thing from Immersive Engineering, recharging it. And I switched this out when I was making those water coolant cells a little while ago. And it is simply a capacitor hooked up to the redstone flux supply, and then it beams down energy via cables to wherever it needs to go. So I don't really need to worry about having a big IC2 power system, because I've got the big reactors. So I can use this hookup device to power machines around the place. We're not using generators, but with the generators, all I do is provide it with coal, and as I've got so much coal from quarrying, it's basically doing the same thing. And I want to craft me another 10 of those, please. Missing 10 raw rubber. What? Okay, maybe it doesn't know where the raw rubber is yet. Okay, well, my simple solution for setting that up is basically using the ender chest that I got set up, because I put the tree farm on its own circuit, as it were, its own AE system, but I never hooked up the ender chest to it. So really I should have, well, I can have it anywhere, but I guess, do I want it in here? No, I don't really want it in here. I want it back at the base. I want it hooked up at base. Okay, so to deal with the rubber shortage, I've put in my tree farm ender transfer over here. Now, the tree farm is set up to always keep the saplings and the raw rubber and the apples and the raw plastic and all that. Actually, it should be in the other order, really. I prefer it in the other order. There we go. And I've had to do a little setup with the system over here so that the storage bus from the ender transfer is set up to extract only. Otherwise, it will treat it like a storage location and just fill it up with anything I put into the AE system. So that is the results, the things that we want from the tree farm. I think I probably also want the wood, but I haven't added that into this ender chest system yet. I will do shortly, I'm sure, so that we've got all the wood types that I'm doing there as well available in a stack of each. But that should now mean that I can craft those cables. And I only wanted to craft a couple of cables, but it couldn't process the rubber. Now it's got the raw rubber available, it can. Awesome. Okay, so give me those. Right, so we can finish that little section off. It's rewiring, because you spend ages playing around with stuff. You spend ages doing things a certain way and get things set up so they're working. And occasionally you have to mess around with it all to set it up so it's not... And then something breaks. Temporary solutions lead to long-term failures. And in this case, I'm now slowly but surely unraveling some of the balls of string and stuff that I've done already just to make it work, and repositioning it over here. And trying to get it all connected up means that I've got to rewire quite a lot of stuff. Okay, so now we've got some of the bits and pieces sorted out and altered and changed. I've put some cable covers on the floor here so it all blends in nicely, and I put it on the ceiling below. We were sorting out the P2P tunnels for each of the floors. So every floor that I make has its own 32 channel connection via a point-to-point interface. So the Tinker's Construct has a point-to-point interface here, which is connected to it on the floor below. Can I get to the floor below without digging everything up? Just to show you again what we're doing here. Yeah, here we go. So yeah, the floor below, here we go, that's got the point-to-point tunnel, and that's connected up to the Tinker's Construct smeltery over here. So only one channel being used to send 32 channels over to this floor, and only one channel used on that 32 channels. I know, but it allows for expansion, so if I put anything else in here, it can do that. I've got to figure out some other little sections, but basically, we've already covered the P2P tunnel stuff. What I've done now, though, is set it up so that it's all, like, 6 floors per corner. 6 floors there, and 6 floors over here as well. And I'm just marking them up with wooden signs at the minute, until a better sign comes along, or a fancy sign, or an electronic-looking sign or something. I'm just working through them like that at the moment, just to set them up. And I've also got a little advanced tip over here that I've been using to sort out my storage drives. So I've got the new setup here gives us the quantum link chamber to the mining HQ, the quantum link chamber to the pocket AE system, and then I've got some disk drives underneath, so I can access these disk drives and sort them and sort things out and do all sorts. So, for instance, the Twilight Forest blocks I've got here, Twilight Forest mobs I've got here, and Twilight Forest Wild I've got here. This is one that I was messing around with earlier. So now if we look in the Twilight Forest stuff, we should find that there's nothing Twilight Forest in this AE system. There's all sorts of other junk that I want to clean out and clean up, but there's no Twilight Forest stuff in this AE system. And because it's all on these disk drives, right? So you can access a disk drive on its own by just putting it into a chest that's connected to a power supply. So this here is a quartz fiber. It connects a cable from the main system and gives the power only going through it. So it basically sets it up as an independent system. So all of these blocks, the 41k of Aurora blocks from the tower and all that, they're all on this one disk. And this disk is formatted to only allow those. So if we look into the cell workbench, it's formatted to only allow these types of blocks in there, right? And I've got the same sort of setup with mob drops. And I've got the same sort of setup with the Twilight Forest, like items and bits and pieces, the wood and stuff, things like that, right? So, all in all, that keeps all the Twilight Forest stuff that I've got in my system out of my AE system. And I want to do the same sort of thing with some of the other magic mods, because we've got lots of shards and stuff. I should tell you that I took over all of Benito's AE drives. And basically asked him, as you're not doing it anymore, can I take your drives and just add your stuff to my stuff so that I've got more stuff? He had lots and lots of Certis quartz, and I was running down on Certis quartz. The 1B that he gave me, the Certis B, produces nether quartz and Certis dust, I believe, wherever Certis dust happens to be right now. But he had lots of Certis crystals in his inventory, in his thing, because of these Certis drones, I believe. He's got a Certis set up at his place. Also at his place, though, he's got these infused dusks from magic bees, which I've now got 51k of air-infused dust from magic bees stored, which, of course, makes air shards and all that kind of stuff. I've got lots of magic mod stuff, like weak blood shards and bits and pieces. I've got some odd bits and pieces in here from the bees and the like, which I need to sort out and process. There's some combs and stuff that he had in here. There's some of the Ender IO dense ME conduct and stuff that he was using around his base, which is in there, but I'm not using it just yet. But there's all sorts of magic mod stuff, like shards and things that I need to get rid of out of the system because, well, although I can skim past it and I can search for stuff, I can't really sort it as such. Okay, so the first thing I've got to do is hook up the magical storage unit to, the magical storage P2P floor to the magical storage room. So I've started designing a little area here for helping me to sort out all of the junk, all of the things. There we go, load the settings up into there. That should now connect up. Connect up, thank you. There we go. So now this should have power, should be able to do all the things it needs to do. Good, good. And I should be able to power down from that into a chest. And just rotate the chest slightly so it's on the right angle. There we go. That's sorted. And then if I put one of these guys in here, let's put one of these Twilight Forest ones in there, I can access what's in there. And let's say, for instance, the unique item of the Hydra trophy. It will not be available on here. Hydra. There we go, look. Hydra. Yep, so it's not available in there. There are no Twilight Forest items in this area, other than maybe those stone picks, but they don't really count because they're stone picks. There's lots of armor and stuff in here that I want to get rid of as well, but there's no Twilight Forest stuff in here. Okay? So we got that. You understand that. That's sorted. So there we go. Now, I kind of want to put in storage drives and disks and stuff for things. I don't know if this connects with a drive. So let's put those items back in there. Do we now have the Hydra? Yeah, the Hydra stuff is now available in there. Okay, so to take all that out and fix that, I can put that in a separate loop, just to store things separately. What I would like to do is set it up so that we're storing things, well, I guess, so that we can store things and connect it if we want to. So what I do want is a toggle bus. Well, I think I want a toggle bus and a lever and a lever. There we go. Toggle bus and a lever. So let's get rid of that again. And this time I want to connect it this way to there. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I can do that as well. Aha, I got loads of ideas. Yeah. So cable ties. I'm trying to keep this as compact as possible. these little cable anchors, right? To kind of make sure they don't connect to other things, you can stop it by putting a cable anchor there. So when I place the next cable there, it will not attach to that cable because it's got a cable tie there, right? And I want to kind of put this in there to stop the flow. So I'm going to have to do it this way around. It's a process. It's a process, folks. Put that there. Put that there. And then put this there. Okay. So it receives power from this part of the AE system. So I can put the items in there and it's on and working. But we won't get any of the things over there. Let's see. Yeah, I can turn it on off with that. Good, good. So now the not the thermal expansion, the Twilight Forest stuff is not in here. It's in here. I can access the discs separately here, but I can turn it all on like this to be able to see all of the Twilight Forest stuff in here again. Or at least I should be able to. Come on, show me, show me, show me, show me, show me, show me. I should probably have had it on all items instead, shouldn't I? Where is the Twilight Forest? I've done it by mod, and that just takes forever to see things. Where are we? Right down the bottom? Right down the bottom? No, that's AE stuff. Oh man, I've got so much stuff in this AE drive now. This is why I need to change it around to stop this happening. Well, I figured that would work. Maybe not then. No, there it is. There it is. It's all there. So it's all right at the top. Okay. So all of that stuff, all the aura blocks, all of the bits and pieces from the wild, and all of the mob drop stuff. All three of these discs are currently accessible in here, right? All accessible in here. I can see them all. If I switch this off, then they are no longer accessible through here. Yeah? You get what I'm doing so far? Turn it off, turn it on, and kind of give it a chance to reset. There it is. That's why I couldn't find it the first time, because it wasn't resetting. There we go. So this is basically a secondary storage. Yeah, to get things out of the AE system so I don't have to look at all of the magical mod stuff, and it's all stored over here. There is some sort of storage that I wanted to do over here, but I reckon just put some cells in, it'll be fine. And then I can access everything in here and store things away if I want to keep them off the disk drives. So let's go into here. I can also limit things with a view cell, which is quite nice. But anyway, let's go with a K drive. Let's go with a 64K drive. 64, give me 64K. I'll craft, let's just craft one, just for now. See how fast that does it. One 64K drive, okay. And we're going to use the cell workbench, which I'll dump down there for now. The cell workbench to decide what's going to go onto that 64K drive. Now, shards and bits of shard from Thorncraft are going to need to go on there. So let's take a stack of each of the shards, like so. Those and those. And there's greed shards, and there's gluttony shards. And I don't need any of this stuff anymore, so get it out of my way. Get it out of my inventory. Okay, so there's shards. There's the green shards missing and all that kind of stuff, but still. We've also got the ores. Here we go. Water infused. So we've got water infused ores. We've also got Ordo infused. Yes. We've got fire infused. Yes. We've got entropy infused. Yes. And we've got earth infused. Yes. We've got air infused. There we go. So we've got all those bits. And then if I search by number of items, we should see right up at the top all of those shard things that Benito had stored away. Like the air shards there, the fire shards, the water shards, and the chaos shards. Doesn't look so much like he's got many of the others that he had in there. Okay, they're the extra bees ones. So now we've taken a few of the items. Now, I could come and get some more out of here, and I probably will do just to finish it off. Like, I need that one in particular, don't I? There we go. And yeah, that'll be okay. And then we come over to the cell workbench, and it's now set up with an ME64 storage. It's got nothing on the storage at the minute. I can put all of these things on there, all of these things on there, all of these shard things. Tell it to have all of these things on that storage drive, right? Just to make sure that that knows what it's doing, I can put it into here. I have to rename it in an anvil, by the way, just in case you were wondering. And just to check that that's what it can take, I click it all into the bin, as it were, but it won't take anything else. It won't allow me to put anything else in there that is not allowed on the cell. So that cell then becomes fixed with that there. Okay? Now, I can use this to go from the drive to the disk. So I can put this in here now, and it would start just filling it with everything. Fill it with everything. Let me take that off. I'll put this in here out the way. There we go. And we should see that everything is being reduced slowly but surely. I'll take all of this stuff. It's currently taking the blue. Water shard bits, but it's taking it so fast that we can't see it. And then it started to take the ignis. Let's keep moving across here. Fire dust. It's taking all that now. So we won't be able to see that in a second. It'll be gone. Now it's taking all of this one. The chaos infused shards. And it's filling all that up. And it will just keep filling up this disc. And it's just going to cram it full of stuff. And it looks like it's crammed it full of stuff. So we shouldn't find any order or ordo in there. No, we shouldn't find any of that in there. We should find that everything from it is now in here. So all of that stuff, all of the shards and things, very quickly transferred onto this disk and out the way. There you go, look. So it's all transferred onto the disk. It's all there. Very awesome. Just to get it all out of my AE system and onto another disk. Technically, it's all still in my AE system, I'm aware. But it just makes it easier when looking through to find things, not to find everything known to man. I want to take all of these bees out and set up a bee processing area just to clean out the area as well, just so things happen and things get organised. And when I need something, like the Twilight Forest stuff's all in here at the minute. When I want to use the Twilight Forest stuff over at spawn in the museum, I can just switch it on. I can just switch it on and everything is once again in here. There's the dust again in here and all of the Aurora blocks and the castle bricks and everything's available. But I could just turn it all off when I don't need it. Simples. I love it. Okay, one more little thing that I can do that I want to test out while I've still got the chance is testing out something regards to cell viewing. So let's take this Twilight Forest blocks thing, stick it into here. There we go. So there's all the Twilight Forest blocks. I'm going to copy the controls if the contents of the configuration pane are cleared when you remove the cell. I'm going to click on copy. So I copy it, and then I'll take this out. And the contents of this pane stay there even though I've taken it out, right? So then I can put that in there. Now you've got this little view cell, and the view cell is very simple to craft, very easy to craft. I've not put in an auto crafting though, because I don't think I'll use it that often. Then I can put this view cell in there and copy the contents of the configuration pane are cleared when I remove the cell. So now it's going to copy all of that onto this cell. So now, in this terminal, I can currently see everything in the AE system. When I use this view cell on there, it will limit to only those things that the view cell allows you to view. So when I turn this on, I should be able to see only the blocks. There you go, you see? So now I've limited it, so I can change this view cell to limit what I can see through the terminal. There's no limit, there's a limit. There's no limit, there's a limit. And that gives me the opportunity to turn off the system. Right? Turn off the system and go, have I had any more stuff arrived in since the last time I looked? No. Okay. So I can then know whether I need to fill up the cell or not. Yeah, I can then figure out what I need. And there's space for 5 different view cells in there. So I may just set something like that up as well. I may even do things around here so that I've got an access terminal here. This is just a straightforward access terminal, no crafting whatsoever on this side. And I could just put those in like that and just fill these cells. So from here I can access everything that's in the magical storage area. Yes, it sounds quite cool. I don't know exactly whether I want to continue with what I'm doing here, but I do want to just sort of like get the storage stuff put away. I don't know if I need to have the view cells. I just thought that'd be interesting to show you. But that is all I've got time for this episode. I've got to do a lot more building work, a lot more of what I've just been showing you, the connectivity, the little tricks to connect sections up and sort out cells, and try and get things to be stored correctly and functioning properly, and everything being universally awesome over here at the Silicon Valley. Hopefully by next episode I should have completed the build work. Fingers crossed, let's hope. Until then though, thank you very much for watching another episode of the Hypermine Infinity Evolved. I will see you next episode, coming soon.